Welcome to episode 151 of the Inside Byte. I'm your host, Tim Schaefer. I'm here with my co-host, Rudy. How you doing this week?
Hey Tim, I'm doing great. Um, just saw a bunch of games coming, so it's very exciting, which I'm sure
Yes.
we'll be talking about
So
shortly.
for all listening, the Xbox Showcase just happened, and then we're waiting for that to happen to record,
Yep.
but we're going to go over the last PlayStation State of Play that happened recently, as well as the Summer Game Fest, as well as the Xbox. So the only one missing from, I guess, of the big ones would just be Nintendo. Though, do we know of a Nintendo Direct happening or no?
I don't believe so, but I feel like they have one every year in June. Let's see.
Okay, no, there's nothing announced yet. But yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, we're still expecting that.
let me see when their 2023 one was. It was June 21st.
Okay,
So,
so it could be a much later.
and the year before that, June 28th. So,
Okay.
sounds about right.
Yep. And we always find out what, like a week at the most, sometimes even a few
Yep.
days. All right.
Always very close.
So we're gonna start. So that's all this episode is gonna be. It's just basically going over these three showcases
Right.
and giving overall thoughts of the whole showcase. Listen each game. We don't have to go in depth on any game. We can just go ahead unless we have something specific to say, and we're just gonna do that on all three of these showcases. And that's basically
Okay.
how all this is gonna get tackled. We could
Sounds good.
we could just say the one sentence descriptor on 10 games, but then spend 10 minutes on a single game. I don't care, but
Sure, sure. All right, we'll fill it
just
out.
fill it out as we go. Exactly. So
All right.
let's just get into it, and we're gonna start with the PlayStation State of Play. Since that was the first. I want to say what's funny about this one is it kept getting rumored that it was gonna happen in May, and then it's like May 28th, and people are like, "Oh, I guess it's not happening," and it did happen on May 30th. So right at the end there. But there was a lot of leaks and rumors about it, and then people getting mad at the people leaking it or like saying the rumors of it because they're like, oh, it's definitely not true. It's already way too late. But it did happen.
Right.
So anyway, that's a little backstory with that. But
What do you
14
think? What do you think
games,
overall?
14 games were shown. Um, Two of them were PSVR 2 games. It was about
Yep.
30 minutes long.
Yep.
Um, it started off with Concord, and I think Concord is in that cringe live service Fortnite Marvel vibe of like,
I thought the same thing.
like it was a little. I mean, I didn't know what to expect, but we just had that little tiny teaser of it looked like some like cool Atari aesthetic logo with like a neat little inside of a spaceship or something. And we're like, okay, curious what this is. But it turns into like a PvP champion shooter kind of thing. And I'm just like, not
They
into this.
pull a little bait and switch on us there, I think.
Yeah. And it just like, I don't know. Again, I'm over this whole vibe of this like, wow, look over your shoulder. You're about to get shot. It just,
The
I'm done with
character,
it.
the
Yeah.
hero shoot, not even hero, but the character shooter thing is like there's so many of them now. It's like
Hmm.
crazy.
And they're
So
not lasting long. I mean, we've said this countless times in the past, but they seem to.
no,
It's a running theme over the last few years of it'll at most last in a year before they just get sort of ended.
well,
So
and even the biggest ones like Overwatch 2 is not very successful.
yeah.
So if they can't do it, I mean, geez.
But as it's happening, I mean, if you're into any live chat as it's going on, it's like 90% negative of just like what the hell's this? Nobody wants this kind of stuff. So I don't feel alone in stating this either.
Yep,
I
yep,
feel the
sure.
mass audience is saying no to it. But that's
Oh
the
yeah.
thing is like it's the mass audience of people watching such events. As a whole, maybe they get like a million players But when
Yeah,
it
yeah,
launches, but then 4 months later, now it's like, 100 players playing. So that's what seems to keep happening.
yeah. That's true. That's a good point.
Anyway, um, but Concord was like their big one for that showcase, and that doesn't work for me. So it wasn't really much of a showcase. Everything else we kind
I
of
mean,
either already knew or like I don't know. I didn't feel too hyped on. I mean, we're gonna go over each individual game, but Monster Hunter Wilds is cool. But again, we've already knew of that, already seen some, but to actually see some genuine gameplay and all that, pretty neat. Um, but I'd say the big banger of this showcase is Astrobot. I loved what I saw there.
yeah, I think Astrobot. I agree. That's definitely the big draw. There were a few little things here that I was like, okay, that's cool, but nothing crazy. Overall, I thought it was a very tame presentation. But yeah, the Astrobot got me. That was cool.
Yeah, yeah. So I'd throw a C at it. I don't know if it
Yeah,
quite deserves a D, but there really wasn't really too much to harp on here.
I think C is totally fair.
Yeah, it was average. So we're gonna get into each game here, and then so Concord. The show opened with a deep dive. Concord 5v5 multiplayer FPS from Firewalk Studio, and they just bought this studio too, by the way, because I guess they really liked what they were doing. Concord said they bought the studio, and then this is gonna release as like a first party game, and it's hitting open beta in July for PS5 and PC. They are launching day and date with PC and PS5, so that is smart. We got
That
like
is
10
funny.
minutes of like a trailer. Half of it was like maybe 7 minutes of it was like cinematic little like showcasing the characters and all of that. Very
Right.
like Guardians of the Galaxy meets um I don't know, Overwatch.
Sure.
And so yeah, 5v5 and the open beta is going to be August 23rd. Open meaning at least to PS5 and PC.
Right. And just for the record, I don't think the game looks like it's a bad game. I just feel like it's the
We've just
same.
been here,
We've
done it.
seen it so many
Yeah,
times, you
yeah.
know?
It doesn't look
So,
bad. No, no. It, it,
right.
it looks solid. It's just like, I
Just
don't
not
know,
enough. Yeah.
15 years in the past, I
Right.
was
Right.
playing this stuff. So
I agree.
I don't care anymore. When did the first Overwatch even come out?
I want to say it was 2016, I'm pretty
And
sure.
I was
So,
already playing, like Team Fortress 2 already existed for
right.
many, many,
Team
many
Fortress 2
years.
has been it for a
Um,
long, long time. So,
and it's not like
um,
Overwatch was like the first to do it. So even when we look
no,
at such a
no.
date like that, we were already in the midst of things. So it's like it's starting is so old at this point. It's like I don't know if I can't do this anymore. I don't care anymore. It's basically my answer there.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I feel the
So
same way.
God of War
Um,
Ragnarok is releasing on. Oh, any more thoughts on Concord?
no, no, no. I was going to say this. That's
Oh,
fine. We can keep
okay.
going.
Yeah. God of War Ragnarok PC. Sorry. After the Concord
Okay.
presentation, the scene shifted to Kratos and Atreus as God of War Ragnarok is coming to PC September 19th. The port will include support for super wide screens as well as full Valhalla DLC. Anything here?
Yeah, just this is the kind of stuff that makes me wish I could have some patience and wait because I would love to play this on PC, but didn't do it. When did God of
Yeah.
War Ragnarok come out again? Was it last year or when though?
Early
Let me
last
see.
year would be my
Was it?
guess.
Let me see. Oh, go ahead, look it up.
Okay. So, no, it was older than that. November 2022.
Oh, wow. Okay. So it's been about a year and a half.
So, yeah, this release is September. September, November, super close. So, you're
Oh, so even
talking
more. Okay,
you're
so
talking
almost 2
2
years.
years. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, just curious. But all
Yeah,
right, let's
because
keep
I
going.
am curious about that too. Like, how long do they wait before they drop
Right.
on PC kind of thing? 2
Hmm.
years. I mean, if I was them, do a year if you're gonna at least space it out. 2 years is too long.
I think a year is perfect.
Yeah. Anyway,
All right. Next up, Dynasty Warriors Origins. Don't really have much to say about this. I've never been huge into these games. How about you?
nope, nothing really to say. The state of play shifted to Dynasty Warriors Origins, a new entry in Omega Forces hack and slash adventure action game. The trailer mixed story elements with raw gameplay before setting a 2025 release window. I got nothing more to say. I
All
don't
right.
care. Nikki, Infinity Nikki, the anime dress up game. Love Nikki will make its PlayStation 5 debut with Infinity Nikki. The brief trailer showed vast open worlds and a heroine dancing with local wildlife and separate biomes. The trailer ended with the announcement of a test in quarter 3 of 2024. Not really too much to say there. It's just a, I don't know, dress up game that's online and you can show off different things you make, kind of thing.
Wow.
I
Man,
don't know.
I'm super pumped, super excited. All right. There's Infinity Nikki. Then we have Ballad of Antara, a dark fantasy ARPG from Infold Games and Tips Works Studio. We see a man wielding a large sword accompanied by a woman with a bow who are escorting a small child on the samurai's back. This game is scheduled for a 2025 release. Looked interesting. I need to see more, you know?
It didn't look bad. It just felt a little like, again, kind of nothing too out of pocket of like, I don't
Right.
know, feels like a video game we've seen many times.
Yeah. Seems to be the case for a few of these.
So, I mean, I don't know. You know, it's weird when you hit that range of games where it's like, okay, well, I don't think these games look bad, but I'm just kind of over them and
Yeah,
want something a
well,
little different.
also as we've discussed, it's like we just don't we got to the point where we played so many games, right? And then also we just don't have as much time these days. So you become more selective and you've seen so much already, you know? It's like
Yeah,
the fact that I
yeah.
spent 100 plus hours on Final Fantasy VII, yeah, that must mean that's really a great game, you know? So
I feel even if we were 20 years old, we would still be saying these things
still be, yeah,
because let's say somebody at 20, they were playing these games when they were 12, 13, 14. Like they would still
right.
feel this, you know what I mean?
That's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah, yeah. Skydance's Behemoth. Behemoth, the next game from Skydance, the studio behind The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, was next in the showcase, where we saw new gameplay for the VR RPG, along with some bow and sword combat. We get a glimpse of some of the tutelar behemoths that will be featured throughout. This game is now available to wishlist. This looked like a neat little VR thing, but again, nothing too special.
Well, remember last time they said the best VR game out there. Remember when you tried it?
I still always feel bad because they going ahead in the Summer Games Fest, they actually just showed the game off, and they're showing all these like 9s and 10s out of 10s and all these, you know, like crazy awards and stuff. And I'm like, I don't know, I don't get it.
Yep, yep.
Felt like a PS2 game to me.
Wild, man.
I don't know.
I don't
Anyway,
know. I think the VR, I think it's got the only VR game that I've heard universal acclaim for, and that it's like way up there is Half-Life Alyx. That's the one I always hear. Is like, wow, this is like another
that
level as well.
I will always defend. It's great. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Alien Rogue Incursion. The state of play stayed with VR for the next game, Alien Rogue Incursion from Creed, Rise to Glory developers Servios. The trailer showed a brief look at the first-person horror gameplay, where the player must quickly and quietly flee against a xenomorph. I mean, it's interesting. I just obviously I don't have the PSVR 2, so
Yeah, that would be cool though, like a VR alien
yeah,
game.
I'd check it out.
I'd check it out. Mhm.
Hmm.
Marvel Rivals. The showcase then moved away from VR, and we got to look at this, which is a 5v5 hero shooter from NetEase, along with a tease for a new spacefaring hero. The trailer also highlighted a closed beta coming soon to PS5 with a PlayStation exclusive Spider-Man skin for those who participate.
Okay. I think I actually missed this one. What'd you think of this?
Well, I've seen this game already in previous things, and it's basically Overwatch but Marvel, but it's third person instead of first person, and I do think
Gotcha.
it looks very polished, it looks great.
Okay.
I don't know, like I would say like this and Concord are probably similar like quality, but if I'm choosing between generic trying to be Marvel characters and then actually Marvel characters, I think I'm gonna choose Marvel Rivals. So that's kind of where I fall into that pocket, but honestly I'm not gonna play either
Okay.
one. But the fact that they're both kind of existing, I think most would do Marvel Rivals, which makes me like I don't think Concord's gonna win that battle, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't think so either. All right. All right, next up, the Souls-like action game Where Winds Meet, which first debuted during the previous State of Play in January. The brief gameplay trailer showed multiple fights against a few massive boss-style enemies. No release window was confirmed, but the game can be wishlisted now. I thought this looked interesting, but again,
Looks
it's
pretty
just
cool, but yeah,
yeah,
nothing
just a
too
running theme
wild.
of like I'm gonna need to wait to see more trailers, get closer to the day of release, all that good
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I feel like there's some games that can just come out with a teaser trailer and you'll be hyped, right? And then there's others where I need to see more. So
hmm
really just
hmm
depends on the franchise. So
Until Dawn remake, uh, the 2014 interactive team slasher movie, which is being rebuilt by the Ballistic Moon. A few of the intense choice-based scenes from the game are highlighted in the trailer, and it showed a release window of fall 2024. And it's like doesn't look incredible. I'm sure it looks better than the original,
right.
but I don't know. It nothing too special here, other than like if you want to, I don't know, to play Until Dawn again, and it's a bit cleaned up. That's cool.
Sure.
But like,
Yeah.
I think what they should do is probably like give like an upgrade path to this game.
Right.
10,
Right.
20 bucks. It'd be kind of weird if, we got to buy this all again and it's not that big of a, I don't know.
Yep. I agree. And I love Until Dawn, but I feel like it's very clear when there's a difference between like what they did with Paper Mario, for example, and
Yeah.
what they're doing with this game. This seems very minimal of a remake. So
hmm
I don't know. It's been 10 years. Will I play it? Maybe, but I'm not spending like 50 bucks on it or something.
Yeah, but
So
you can play it, a PS4 version of it. So it's like,
yeah,
I don't
you're right.
know. When you just have like a one gen jump, unless you do some drastic changes, I don't see too much of a point there.
Right, right. Agreed.
But
I
yeah.
guess if you have a PC and maybe you wanted to replay it and you want to play it on
Yeah,
PC now,
that's
I
cool. Yeah, yeah,
guess
yeah.
that could work. Like on Steam Deck would be cool, probably.
hmm hmm hmm
But
That's
yeah,
that's a
aside from
good
that, I
thing.
don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Uh, what do we got next? Excuse me. Path of Exile 2. State of Play, then shifted to Path of Exile 2, the isometric RPG from Grinding Gear Games. The trailer showed new gameplay with multiple classes, including one where the player turned into a giant rampaging bear, as well as a boss fight against Krutog, Lord of Kin. Path of Exile 2 will enter early access on PS5 later this year. All right, very cool. I mean, I'm sure people will be excited about that.
Yeah, it's Path of Exile is a big game. It
Yeah,
looks
it's
great. I don't know. Like I'm not gonna play this, but I'm not gonna slightly hate on it. It looks good.
sure.
Silent Hill 2 remake. This I have been kind of meh on this whole time, and this didn't help at all. If anything,
Yeah,
I'm just more kind of meh on it.
I just can't get
Um,
excited for it, man. It just doesn't. It's not doing anything for me.
yeah, exactly, exactly. So
The
the
only thing
long
endearing for me
awaited.
is that it's Silent Hill. That's it.
It makes me want to play it because of what game it is. But
Right.
anytime I see this, I'm just kind of like, eh, looks pretty average.
Yeah, hopefully when it comes out, they kind of surprise us. Maybe it'll be better than we thought. That's what I'm
I've
hoping
actually
for at least.
never played Silent Hill 2. I've
Me
played
too.
3 and The Room and Shattered Memories, but I've never played 2. So,
I actually haven't either, so that's why I don't really have anything to compare to.
yeah,
So the chances are I will play it, but I don't know. I want to be more excited about it. I'm not excited yet. So
exactly. The video highlighted Silent Hill's updated environments and enemies, with James encountering a few demonic nurses before having a run in with the Pyramid Head itself. The segment ended with the release date confirmation of October 8th.
all right, very good. Not too far at all. All right, Monster Hunter Wilds. Next up was Monster Hunter Wilds, with Capcom unveiling gameplay from the upcoming monster hunting adventure for the first time ever, along with a glimpse at a few of the characters along the journey. The trailer showed many of the massive monsters we'll be hunting, as well as a desert and a savanna biome with multiple paths to explore. Monster Hunter Wilds is still slated for a 2025 launch, and as no specific date was announced in this segment. Well, I know you're excited about that one, huh?
Mm-hmm. I'm actually playing Monster Hunter Worlds
Oh,
because
nice.
of that. I saw that and I'm like, I want to go back, and I never actually played the expansion. So
Oh, the ice one.
yeah, so I'm going
Gotcha.
back and playing through it again, and I'm playing with my kid actually. So it'll just be a
Nice.
co-op thing of us going through this game, and then until we play Wild. So I've
Gotcha.
already fought. I think I've done about 8 missions so far of replaying, and man, it's great. I do miss Monster Hunter Worlds.
Nice.
The Switch game is like good. It's just a Switch based game, so they can't really take
Right.
it too
Right.
far. And going
Right.
back to Worlds is I'm like, man, this game is feels a lot more alive and more immersive and all of that, just
Hmm.
because it's a lot more powerful. And so I am really enjoying it.
I really need to play these games. It's almost like the Persona thing. I'm like, I know it's good. I just got to find the time to really sink because I know once I start playing that game, I'm going to spend a ton of time on it. So
What I suggest for you, if you are curious, is just play just basically you can play about an hour of it and play the first few
okay,
missions, but play it with somebody who knows what they're doing, so they could just quickly
gotcha,
tell you, "Hey, do this, 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 this." When you
gotcha.
go
Okay,
in blind, you're just gonna be like, "I don't really get what's going on," and then you're gonna fall off. And I think if somebody just kind of like let you know like what to ignore and what not to ignore, and
right,
just
right.
steer you in the right direction there in the beginning, you'll get like what you need to focus on, and then worry about the more complicated stuff later, because
Okay,
it's you're going to just be looking at anything and everything and not knowing what to really like focus on or care much on or not care much on, because it kind of unloads too much at the start. And
yeah, it seems overwhelming. I did like some of the
yeah,
tutorial, and I was like, wow, what the heck am
no,
I doing?
just have somebody start easy, a sword and shield, a big sword, something basic, and
Right.
just have somebody just be like, look, here's how to do this and that. Because when I did it with my kid, I was quite surprised on how easily and quick he was able to pick things up. But I realized, well, it's because I'm sitting here the whole time. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
Gotcha, gotcha. Okay,
And it really
okay,
helps.
makes sense. So is he?
Yeah.
He's enjoying it.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
All right,
So I got it where I'm playing it on my Steam Deck, and then he's playing on my computer with a controller.
gotcha.
And
Okay.
he actually he switched to keyboard and mouse because he was wanting
Oh,
a more
nice.
like bow character to and wanted to aim and stuff. Either way,
Gotcha. Okay. Very
yeah.
cool. All right. I'll have to hear his review in the future now. After he's giving me the Paper Mario review. All right. So next up, finally we had Astrobot. So PlayStation's platforming droid Astrobot is returning in an all-new adventure. The trailer showed multiple new worlds to explore in 3D platforming style, along with a few other gameplay features. At one point, the plucky robot turns a PlayStation 5 console into a spaceship and uses it to battle a massive bad guy in space. Astrobot launches September 6th. This looks really cool. I'm excited for this. I love these kinds of games, and I'm glad we're getting a full-fledged entry now. Not the PS5 little demo, and not God. What was the name of the VR one? Astrobot.
Rescue
I cannot
Mission.
remember. Yes, that's the one.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad we're getting like a
Which
full entry.
both are fantastic, but
Mhm.
they're like shorter experiences. I mean, Rescue Mission actually went on way longer than the usual VR game. I want to say like 10 hours. And then
Wasn't that
this
long? Wow.
yeah, and then this PS5 game is about maybe like 4 to 5 hours, 6 kind of pushing it there. But
I can't.
this looks like an actual 20, 30 hour solid experience, is what I'm assuming out of this. Because there's
I'm
no
just glad.
like gimmick here. It's just like, hey, here's a full on 3D platformer meant to, compare to like
Right.
a Banjo or a Mario or whatever.
I'm glad they realized that people really want this on just normal
Yes.
console.
Yeah. Very hyped. September 6th is pretty close. I love that we don't have to sit there and wait a long time for this.
Right.
Basically 2 months. I'm totally fine with that.
Pretty
3,
awesome.
sorry. But yes. It's pretty hyped. So, like, again, as a whole, it's still like a 6 because it's pretty much Astrobot is like my hype. Everything else is kind of like cool at best. Like Monster Hunter Wilds, I don't know how to like. It's kind of automatic for me. I guess is kind of why it doesn't really like do too much. It's
Mhm.
like, well, I'm kind of sold anyway, and I already knew it was coming. It was
It
neat
wasn't
to see
revealed yet.
gameplay
Right.
of it, yeah, but it wasn't
Mhm.
like,
Mhm.
whoa, this exists. Yeah, yeah.
The next, since it was already revealed, I feel the only thing they could have done to really have a big dent is like some sort of gameplay reveal or some sort of new big feature or something, which they didn't do. So
I don't know if this was the first time we saw gameplay or not. That could have been the case, though.
yeah, I don't know.
Makes me wonder. I mean, it says here in the description, gameplay from the upcoming Monster Hunter adventure was revealed for the first time, so maybe it was.
Maybe
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. I really like that. I really like the Astrobot.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be great.
I guess that's it. God of War Ragnarok PC, that's cool, but again, like it's a little late.
Already played
Yeah.
it.
So,
All right. Well,
all right.
I guess we agree it was a
It's
okay,
average.
slightly,
Yeah.
yeah, average showcase. So
Um, this next here, the Summer Game Fest, I think was better just because there was more here and sort of like announcements of things for the first time and a little more hype and all of that. But
yeah,
it
I
still
still
wasn't.
thought
It still was
Mhm.
meh.
Agreed.
I'm still not like, oh man, I'm so excited. Like for what exactly? Lego Horizons Adventures. That's cool, but that
Uh-huh.
doesn't really like.
I just feel like now whenever we have showcases, it's very hard to get super excited anymore. It's just like I just expect it to be just mediocre. And sometimes we get surprised, but yeah, for the most part, not that crazy. So
Yeah, it makes me wonder. Is like, okay, is it purely just based off of like we've kind of been through it too much, and then we're kind of just like it? We need more to sort of excite us. But I think that only works as if I'm going with the same logic I was doing earlier is maybe
Mhm.
if you were a kid, you'd have to be like 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, kind of seeing all this for like the first
Right,
time as you're getting into it and then being like, whoa, that's really exciting and stuff.
right.
Otherwise, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I don't feel the need to catch all of these live anymore, except the Xbox one I wanted to see live, and we'll talk about that later. But I thought it was definitely worth it. This one, I was
Did you
working and I
did
just
you
kind of
watch this? What did you do with this exactly?
I just caught up after and watched
Okay.
a bunch of trailers.
Because, yeah, they're really, I mean, looking at it after the fact, you kind of see why, as I'm watching it, it's 2 hours long, and I'm just like, man, I'm kind of
Hmm.
bored. Like, oh, this is kind of cool, and then back to being bored kind of thing, you know? And
Yep.
nothing too wild. And so, as we go here through here, you'll see why. So, Lego Horizons was the first one here, Lego Horizon Adventures, which we knew, but it wasn't like confirmed. So, it was cool to get you see
Hmm.
like confirmation on that.
It is cool.
Hey, that's happening. And it looks pretty like, I don't know, cute. It looks neat, I guess, but it's like, I'm not going to play that. So,
Yeah, I'm not gonna play it. I do think it's cool that they partnered with Lego with one of their own IP. That's cool. More people will get to know what Horizon is. But yeah, for me, I don't have any interest in this right now.
now the big thing is this, though, with Lego Horizon Adventures. It's coming to Switch
I
in
did see
holiday
that.
2024. This is a PlayStation IP going to Switch.
Very
Is this a
interesting.
first? I think this is a first. Now I
As
get
in
it's a Lego game of a game, so it's like, how far do you really want to count that? But I mean,
Horizon Forbidden West coming cloud version coming next year.
cloud version Switch. Dear God. I
Yeah, yeah, no, I think this is a first. I can't think of a
think it's a first.
PlayStation
I
game.
think it is.
Let me think.
Um,
I mean, there's been games that used to be only on PlayStation that went over, but currently
I mean, a
just
first party PlayStation studio. I mean, now I know
hmm,
they didn't make it, right? It's probably the Lego team, I'm assuming, making it, and they're just giving
yeah,
them the license.
just the property. Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
it's still like, it's. I
Still a
don't
big
think
deal.
we've seen like God of War or Uncharted or whatever, right? Like none of that is like, oh, now it's on Nintendo. That's never happened, I don't think. So
Sure, sure.
pretty interesting
All right,
there. Anyway,
that is. All right, next up, we got No More Room in Hell 2. Torn Banner Studios took the stage with No More Room in Hell 2. In this eight-player co-op game, you'll have to survive the horrors of the night, but zombies aren't the only danger. The game has permadeath. If you die, then your team will be one person down and it's all your fault. You can play No More Room in Hell 2 in early access this Halloween.
eh.
You know, like we've been saying, been there, done that.
Harry Potter Quidditch Champions. If you're a Potterhead, aka a pothead, then the next game is for you. Take to the skies to enjoy a game fully around the magical sport and see if you can find the golden snitch in Harry Potter Quidditch Champions. That's neat. Harry Potter Quidditch Champions is releasing on the 3rd of September this year for PC, PlayStation 5, Switch, and Xbox Series X and X. I'm not
Looks
like,
interesting. I mean,
I don't
I'm not
think
like,
I would play it personally, but that's cool.
yeah, I'll watch some videos on it and see how it looks. If the gameplay loop is really good, then who knows, maybe. But
Yeah,
I
who
don't know.
knows? Maybe it's like takes off and everyone loves it. It's a
Right, right.
fantastic game. Then maybe my tone will shift, but I not. I don't know.
Yeah,
Doesn't
yeah, we'll
do too
see.
much in the moment. Um,
Right. All right. Next up, Cuff Bust, new title from the creator of Choo Choo Charles. A Cuff Bust. This co-op game will challenge you to escape a prison in the form of a cute bear thing. Okay, I have no idea what animal inspired these creatures, but they can definitely cause some chaos. Major Gremlin vibes when you think about it. Cuff Bust will be released on PC in 2025. Well,
I so when this was showing, I actually did think this looked cool. So yes, it's like teddy bear creatures breaking out of prison, and it looks really good, and it's made by one person.
this
So
does look cool.
I thought it had a good showing. So
Okay, looks
there's
interesting.
maybe 3 or 4 titles in this whole showcase to where I'm saying that on. So
Right,
that's one
right.
of them.
Interesting. All right. Next up.
Star Wars Outlaws. Um, I don't know. They're gonna show more on Ubisoft's on the 10th of June. Um, it's gonna be released August 30th. I don't know what. Like it looks solid, but
Right.
it's not. It's still not doing much. Like I just don't. I'm not really into Star Wars that much. I like
Right.
it, don't love it kind of thing. Some of the
Sure.
movies are like classics in my head of like, you know, the OG and Empire Strikes Back kind of thing, but it's like I like Rebel One, and but it's like there's like little picks that I have throughout the series or Star Wars as a whole where like I like this and I like this. Like I like Coder games. They're really great. But you kind of have to do like a lot of different things to get me like interested. And this looks good, but I think the Respawn games look cooler in my opinion. And I still haven't beaten the second one.
Same here, man.
And I actually uninstalled it because... So, I talked on a little bit on an episode where I ended up having a lot of audio issues and then cut most of it. But long story short, I think I was able to keep into the episode that I played it, installed it, played like 5-6 hours, was really trying to get into it. And I eventually was just like, I just can't because of the tone of the game. Been having this real issue that I think a lot of us are having to where like it's feeling very like too Marvel slapstick, like don't let that hit you on the way out, like, and then just like kind of over it when the whole dialogue keeps doing this.
Yep.
And even that latest game of like the Respawn game, whatever, Jedi Survivor, it just had that tone the entire time. And like the cutscenes are still very glitchy. Like the audio desync just keeps happening with almost every cutscene. And the cutscenes are running at like 30, but the rest of the game runs much smoother. And I kept having to like, I'm like, this, I don't know, it just feels very jarring and weird.
How do they still not fix this by now? It's like so silly. It makes no sense.
Most of it's fixed, I guess. I mean, it's just small things at that point, but that's still like, I get whatever. That's just a side tangent. My real issue is just like, it plays very similar to the last game, but it even more feels like that like cringy dialogue going on, and I can't really get into the characters or story much. And like the action, it's good, but like it's not nearly to the heights of like even Liza P, if I'm gonna play a similar like Dark Souls kind of game.
Which I still have to get to that one too.
I don't know. It wasn't enough, and I was kind of bored, and I kept like I mean, 6 hours is enough. I feel like if I'm not in 6 hours, I don't want to keep trying. Like, I get to fall off at some point.
Play 20 hours, no problem.
So anyway. But this looks even not as good as that. So it's like that's why I'm just like, I'm not gonna play this.
I get it. I'm with you. I don't think I'm gonna end up playing it. We'll see. It is cool. It's coming out in August. That'd be a good game to play over the summer, but I don't know. All right. Next up, I don't know if it's Neva or Neva.
I don't know.
From Nomada Studio, the creator of Grease, came next. It's the beautiful looking game. You can play as a woman who bonds with a wolf cub and goes on a journey across a magical world. Neva will be released later this year on PC, PS5, Nintendo Switch, and Xbox Series X and S.
Now, you could totally guess what this game is going to be like. It's totally in that vein of like
same
beautiful,
style.
Artsy, like, but
I do kind of like.
This looks great, though. Like, even this fits that pocket of, we've seen this many times. But they are doing, I think, really cool things with this. Like, when you're in the midst of, like, the creatures with, like, I don't know, looking like huge elephants or something kind of in the mist. I think it does look really impressive, really cool. I do really like it. This is one of those games to where I was saying there's a few, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 of these. This is one of them to where I'm like, I took away and I remember from the show, and it did hit pretty hard, and I do like what I saw here, and I do want to play it. So,
yeah, I really enjoyed their last game, so I'm all about this. I really would like to play it. Did we get
a date? Well, it says later this year, but no date.
Okay, all right.
Civilization 7. That's a pretty big announcement there. coming out in 2025. I'm not a Civ person, but I can tell when I see quality, and I know Civilization is a big game a lot of people love, and I have like played some of them here and there, and I do like what I see, kind of thing. And I think this is a big one, even if it's not like for me, like
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, and I know people love Civilization, but I'm kind of jealous that I can't get into it.
I want to get more into it. I genuinely do.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. It'd be
yeah,
such a good Steam Deck game, I feel. Like building your civilization while you're just chilling on the couch. I think it'd be great, but I just need to actually like take the time to really try to get into it.
sure. All right, Black Myth Wukong. I am definitely looking forward to this one. It was then time to head to the world of myths with a look at the upcoming action RPG Black Myth Wukong. Here you'll play as Sun Wukong, the Monkey King, in a game full of magical yet dangerous creatures and fierce-looking combat. Black Myth Wukong will be released on 20th of August, 2024 on PC and PS5. It will then be released on Xbox Series X and S at a later date, oddly, for quality standard reasons.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, something's going on there. I'm very curious what, but I'm thinking S.
It's gotta be, right?
Yeah, yeah, right. So either way, that looks pretty cool. Like, I mean, we've seen it for a while now. Like, at some point need to release, which 20th of August, super soon. That's next month. So we're finally here. That's exciting.
Yeah,
Looks
no,
good.
I I'm checking my phone right now. I was like, did I know that was coming out in August? But I think
I don't think we
yeah,
did.
okay.
I think we knew this year, but I don't think we knew it was so soon. But I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, we
Yeah,
know
I have it in
now.
my phone, so I must have put it in at some point. But whatever, I'm excited. I think the game looks really cool. So looking forward to that.
Taking that whole like hero's journey, going to the journey. Yeah, I think it's journey to the west from the east, right? I think it's how it works, or is it the other way
Something
around?
like that. Yeah.
Either way, there's a lot of huge environmental differences as he's traveling across the entire lands there, and being able to like experience that. I think it's gonna be really, really cool.
I think it looks so good, man. And I
Yeah,
feel like we've been seeing it for a while.
exactly. So I'm
Just
excited
getting built.
next month.
So.
Yeah, yeah. I'll
All
be
right, very
playing it.
cool.
I'm
Yeah,
trying to
yeah,
think.
same.
I probably just want to. That's one of those games you want like full blast on your PC and
Yeah, yeah,
really get
agreed.
immersed there. So I think that's definitely where I'm going with that. So
Yep.
yeah, they showcased Agar's Wrath 2 VR, just sort of like, oh, hey, it's available now, which it already. Yeah, I don't know. It's not like it just dropped. So that happened during the show. Then we also got Only Human. We got to look at Only Human from Starry Studio. This shooter looks like it's going to be a mixture of science fiction and fantasy. It'll be arriving on the 9th of July this year, so here real shortly for PC. It was
Very
kind of
cool.
another whatever. Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2. Again, I'm kind of whatever on it. I know there's fans, and I'm sure it will be big for them, but I don't see like, a ton of sales or anything like that. 9th of September 2024. Tons of sales, meaning like I'm expecting 1 million or 2. But because the Warhammer audience, basically, that would also play a video game of it, is still decently big. But as long as they have those expectations in check when it comes to making it and not spending 500 million on making it, I'm sure it'll do good for them, and it looks good. I don't know. It's like at a business level makes sense, but I just it doesn't do it for me. But when I say it doesn't do it for me, I just don't want people thinking that I'm sure it'll be fine. But
Okay.
yeah,
All right. Next up, Metaphor ReFantasio is the latest game from the creators of Persona 3, Persona 4, and Persona 5. It will be released on the 11th of October, 2024 on PC, PS4, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S. Well, seems like they're definitely trying to cater to some fans here.
yeah.
Oh, is this part of it right here? It looked like it was
Yeah.
separate. Okay. The United Kingdom of Ukrainia is in turmoil after the assassination of its king and the release of the royal magic. Now a royal tournament is being held to decide the new king, but the prince isn't as bad as everyone thinks. If you'd like to learn more about this RPG, then make sure you watch Atlas Exclusive Showcase 2, the times for which can be found on our Summer Game Fest schedule. Very cool.
But yeah,
I don't
I
think
mean,
there's
we've
no
seen
problem.
enough of this. I'm excited. We already knew the release date. There wasn't really anything new at the showcase for it, so moving along. Batman Arkham Shadow is next VR game for Quest 3, which we already knew of. And I think this will be cool, though. Like, if I had a Quest 3, I'd play it. I have a Quest 2, so I don't know if it's, like, exclusive to the 3 or something like that. So once it releases, I'll just see if it runs on the Quest 2. If it doesn't, it's definitely not going to have me going out and buying a new headset just so I can play a few hours of experience of something. You know what I mean?
No, it
But,
wouldn't be worth it.
you know, so if I have access, I'll check it out kind of thing.
Yep. No, that makes sense. I still need the man. One of these days, I really, really have to get one of these VR headsets. So, all right, Street Fighter 6. Let me tell you how freaking excited I was about this. I haven't played Street Fighter 6 in a while. Not anything to do with being bad or anything, just other games, you know? So finally, the one thing I've been
They got
freaking
your
asking
man.
for, they finally got him back. We got Bison, Elena, Mai, and Terry. I don't care about any of those people except Bison. I was very excited about that. Um, it's coming out with like a fighter
Well,
pass
I'm a
here
Street
too.
Fighter 3 dude, and Elena is from that, so I am very pumped on that
Yeah, no,
regard. So, a
yeah,
big character for me. Plus, Maya is my favorite from King of Fighters, and getting Maya and
yeah.
Terry from them, I think is a huge deal too. I think this is a great announcement, actually.
It's great overall. I'm just messing
Yeah.
around. I don't care about the others, but obviously that's my top one. Yeah, it's across the board. It's a
Yes.
great thing. And I was like at my computer the other day. I was looking at my arcade stick. I'm like, man, I haven't used that thing in a while. So this will be a nice excuse to jump back in. So yeah, I'm
Yeah,
looking
yeah.
forward to that very much.
Tears of Metal, set in Scotland and sounds like it has dragons. What more do you need? It also has co-op too and will be released on PC at a later unknown date. Very just kind of like cool, whatever, move along kind of thing. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, new trailer, and basically just went over being it, hey, it's going across all of the series kind of thing. And PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S. I mean, we've seen enough of this game. It looks good. I'm excited for it to come out. I think we have a release date. They didn't show it in this showcase, but I want to say we have one. Sparking Zero release date. I think it's like later this year. Yeah, October 11th.
Okay.
So there's that. But I am excited for this. I am going to play it. It's just like, it's been a long time since we had a Budokai Tenkaichi game, and we are finally getting another. So I'm hyped there. But
Okay, very cool.
again, doesn't this being in this showcase doesn't move the needle for me, and you could totally not have it, and we're in the same boat. So
Okay. All right, let's start doing two here, since a lot of these are very
Delta Force,
inconsequential.
Hawk Ops. It's basically like pretty good looking first person multiplayer shooter. Open beta will be July 24th. Or sorry, July of this year. 2024 is what I meant. So there's that.
Okay, then we got Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. When we then got to look at the fighting game, we released in 2025 on all platforms except Switch. Battle Crush, which included a mixture of gameplay and animation. Battle Crush will be released in early access on July 27th, 2024 on Nintendo Switch.
Mecha Break is Gundam type game. We're getting a closed beta in August of this year. We got Blumhouse game slate. So Horror invaded the Summer Game Fest 2024, and we got a first look at some of their games here. This trailer packed with games, so if you love horror, and there's likely a game for you. We got look at Crystal Theater of Idols, Grave Seasons, Sleep Awake, Fear for the Spotlight, Simulation from Project C from Brandon Grantham and Sam Barlow. Did whatever. Nothing there really stood out for me.
Okay. Then and by the way, the Mecha Break game, I feel like now that From Software came back with Armored Core, it's going to be hard to top them anymore, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Rewind. The tone then changed dramatically with retro style styled Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Rewind. Well, we don't know the release date. We do know it'll be released on PC. Then next, Deer and Boy. One thing I love about gaming, come on, move out of the way, showcases how quickly the tune can change. We're gone from horror games to 90s children's TV shows to what looks like a touching game about a boy and a deer fall exploring a world being invaded by magic. Deer and a Boy from Lifeline Game Studio. We'll see the deer grow as you play. That sounds pretty interesting. I didn't
It
see
looked
this
good. I think Neva looked a lot better, but
Okay.
that doesn't mean this can't be good too.
Right. Okay. Very cool.
Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, we got a new look at that. Looking good. Releasing later this year on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S. Slitterhead, we finally got this, which we haven't heard about in a while. We got a release date of the 8th of November this year, and it's from the creators of Silent Hill and Forbidden Siren. Slitterhead is a new horror game focused around parasites, and I think this was a good showing. I'm excited for this now.
Yeah.
I think what we saw prior just kind of wasn't enough, so this kind of like was the turning tide of me being pretty interested in it. So
Agreed.
this was a good showing.
I'm excited for that. Okay. And also Kingdom Come Deliverance. Never played the first one, but I've always wanted to. So
Yeah,
we'll see on that one.
yeah.
All right. Next up, Killer Bean. You're playing as a bean who used to be an assassin who works for the Shadow Agency. Okay, that doesn't sound less ridiculous after I've written it out. Killer Bean is a third-person roguelike shooter and will be arriving in early access in summer 2024.
This is
And-
based off of, I don't know if you ever saw it. It was like YouTube. It was a big deal, like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years ago on YouTube. Maybe even older than that. But it's, I don't know. All the kids love it. No, I think it's actually kind of old. Killer Bean. I'm trying to think of how do we find the original? I guess just start the original.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think.
that's what I was going to suggest.
So 6 years ago.
6 years ago,
Killer
okay.
Bean, sorry. This goes way back. See, I knew this was older. 15 years ago. Yeah. Killer Bean 2.1, The Party, came out 15 years ago. 14 million views. So I think this has been like a running animation thing for a really long time on YouTube kind of thing.
Yeah, okay. I've never heard of it.
Yeah,
Interesting.
the episode 1. Okay. Killer Bean Forever, first seen 15 years ago, and even that was already going for a while when that happened. So, okay. Anyways, but it's kind of like tongue-in-cheek of just like, he's a bean, but he's an assassin, and he looks really, really dumb. It looks almost like a turd or something. It's I don't know. It's kind of neat that they're actually turning it into at least a game with some money here.
Gotcha. All right, fair enough. Next up, we have Cairn, I think. I guess that's how you say it.
Yeah.
Showed some perilous climbing gameplay in the latest title from the Game Bakers. Cairn is a survival climber which aims to recreate how dangerous mountain climbing can be, while also exploring how somebody might undertake such a journey, inspired by the family history of one of its developers. Now, that's a cool background. It's interesting.
Okay, I got this one thing to say about here. I laughed pretty hard, but I don't think I was supposed to, because they went on stage and they were all talking about this game and how it means a lot to them. I think like her dad passed away climbing and all of this, and spent all this time like trying to create a game that made it as realistic as possible and really get you in the mind state of a survival climber kind of thing, right? And then
Good,
right
okay.
when they show gameplay, it looks like fucking QWOP, where like
Oh,
the
yeah.
legs and arms are like all janky and flapping all over the place, and I'm like, is this supposed to look like this?
Oh my
And
God,
you had
that's
a
hilarious.
very serious tone of just like death and how important it is and trying to create as realistic as possible. And then right when the gameplay starts, they're just flopping legs and arms. And I'm like, I wonder if is it like a joke and they're leaning into it, but talking like, or is the game glitching and it's not supposed to look like this?
That's
Like,
hilarious.
um, I you have to see it. So I'm gonna
Okay, I'll check it out.
click the link and then skip to 1 minute and 30, and this
No,
is right when
I
the
saw
gameplay
I saw
starts.
some I saw some of it already. I see what you're talking about. It's like the movements. It's like he's like swinging his arm.
I'm like, what the hell's going on here? I was so thrown back, but I can't tell if it's supposed to be that way or not. Anyway, yeah, that happened.
All right.
Wonder Stop is at time Wonder Stop, the latest game from Davey Redden, the creator of the Stanley Parable and Beginner's Guide. Wonder Stop is focused around running a tea shop and sitting on a bench. Oh, and the PTSD from the looks of it, which really makes me mistrust the whole tea shop setting. Wouldn't expect anything less from the creator of the Stanley Parable. He'll be arriving on PC and PlayStation 5 later in 2024. Yeah, they're not showing the twist, but there's clearly a twist going on here. Um, I don't know. It's hard to really say my thoughts on it other than like I'm sure it'll be good because whoever made Stanley Parable, I'm sure it'll be great. So, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. It's a good game. All right. What do we got next? Unknown Nine Awakening, excuse me, sees you go on a magical journey as Haruna. She's a quaster who has the ability to travel to a strange dimension known only as the Fold. You'll be able to play Unknown Nine Awakening when it's released in autumn 2024 on everything but the Switch. All right. I mean, don't really have much to say about that. I don't know. Uh, Monster Hunter Stories and Monster Hunter Stories 2, Wings of Ruin. We then got a quick look at the remakes of Monster Hunter Stories and Monster Hunter Stories 2, Wings of Ruin. Both of these games were released on the 14th of June on Nintendo Switch and PS4.
In the Thraw, I don't know. The last song, um, game with proper grimdark vibes will be released 19th of September on PC, PlayStation 5, and there's a demo available now. Kind of whatever. And then the First Descendant, third-person shooter coming from Nexon, a sci-fi story. You'll become of the Descendants fighters tasked with preserving humanity. The game will offer both solo and four-player co-op, and will be arriving on the 2nd of July for 20 this year on all platforms but Switch. Again, kind of whatever. Move along.
All right. Oh shoot, I lost it. Some of these games, I feel like when I when I don't watch the video and I just read about it, I'm like, what the heck even is this game? All right. Um, why is it not loading for me? Hold on, Tim. What the? Am I on the First Descendant or Outer Sloth now? What's going on
Outer
here?
Sloth.
Okay, that's what I was trying to click on. Okay, there we go. Inner Sloth, the creator of Among Us, then took the stage to introduce its new game fund, Outer Sloth. The idea is to support other indie game developers and give them support Inner Sloth wanted when it was working on Among Us. All right, that's cool. I guess they have a lot of money now, so.
Yeah, and they're basically funding games for all these other independent people so they can help have their game fulfilled. And they basically are just like, I guess an indie dev can pitch them
Right.
and they can publish their games kind of thing. So they showed off some they've already are funding of like Mars First Logistics, Battlesuit Aces, Mossfield Archives, one button bosses. One
Oh
button
shoot!
bosses
Sorry,
actually look pretty cool.
it muted. Hold on a second.
Okay.
My bad. Okay, I'm good now. I couldn't hear you for a minute. All right, go ahead.
Okay. One button bosses actually looks really cool out of these onslaught of different games that they're funding. Rogue Eclipse and Project Doza. And then they announced they're doing an animated series, in which is coming later this year. They say soon, but they put it in a style like it's like soon, like maybe a week or maybe a month kind of feeling, but it's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah. I wonder if that'll be a big hit. Like I feel like the
I
kids
think
that I see don't really talk about
so.
Among Us that much anymore, but I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's still big enough, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Sonic X Shadow Generations, basically they're kind of like re-releasing Generations, but adding Shadow content along with it, and it'll be coming out the 25th of October. So all platforms, even Switch.
There we go.
All right, I'm gonna fly through this. Dune Awakening. We got a new game hitting PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S. Battle Aces from Uncapped Games, where it's like a RTS, but it looks like they're trying to make it as open and as easy as possible to everybody. People that would normally be turned off from the genre is like the goal there, and they're going to have a closed beta here soon. The finals season 3 is approaching or releasing on the 13th of June. We got that Alan Wake 2 Night Springs DLC. Did you see this?
Excited about that. Yep.
What are your thoughts here?
So I didn't start playing it last night yet, just because I heard they're short, so I wanted to kind of do it all in one sitting. But it reminds me of like American Nightmare, but for Alan Wake 2, which I think is awesome. There's 3 episodes, they're about an hour long each, and you play as freaking alternate versions of characters we know already. This sounds awesome. So I'm all in for this.
Yeah, the cafe lady, and then you have what I'm most interested in is the second dude, because it's the Quantum Break dude. And does this finally give that link? I'm very curious on that, because I still, they have yet to technically, I mean, they teased it, right? But they have technically to like officially acknowledge it. Let's put it that way. They keep like super hinting at it of like, oh yeah, it is linked to it, Quantum Break. But I'm hoping that we see something there that actually officially links it. And then we get to play as the Control Girl, as the third one there. So it's like little like mini episodes for each of the characters. And it's going to be released on Saturday, which was yesterday, because it's now Sunday of recording this. I think they were saying that night or something like that. So it's now out, and I'm going to play it.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to
play it. New World, Adium, I guess is what it's called. You can play single player or co-op, and it's releasing October 25th. Some more Honkai Star Rail content releasing on the 19th of this month. Dark and Darker, a first-person shooter where you're exploring caves and dungeons. This actually did look kind of cool. It's available for free now on PC. A little interested in that. Hyper Light Breaker. We've seen this for a while, and it's gonna release on PC this summer. So it's super close to coming out, and it looks good. I don't know. Party Animals, it just showed more of that. They showed some more on Skate. They're releasing like a alpha state on console in the autumn. So console players will be able to like test it along with PC people that have been testing it here and there. This has been way too long in the making. Just hurry up with this is my mode here. But I know games are hard, blah, 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 blah. But come on. Power World. New content arriving the 27th of June. Valorant is finally coming to console. So it'll be hitting PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. later this year, and they're running an open beta for the consoles on the 14th of June. So check that out if you're interested. Valor is a good game. They showed more of Monster Hunter Wilds. Again, it's releasing next year. That game is. Phantom Blade Zero was like the closer of the show, and I don't know, samurai game.
Yeah.
I think that's that one where you can shoot and attack. I want to say maybe there's gunplay involved in it. So hard to remember. There's so many of these, and that it's really starting to like bog my memory on what's what kind of thing. And so let that speak for itself on like, it wasn't enough to sort of like, oh my gosh, I have to get this, because it's looking like, I don't know,
Yeah.
Wulong or whatever else.
I think we're past the days where you can easily talk about every single thing that was shown because they're all so great. It's like there's a lot. I feel like there's more volume now, but a lot of things that were like, doesn't really leave a big impact, you know.
But
So
I'm still sitting at like a C on this. If they got rid of half of it and only focused on like good, maybe go up to a B. But if I'm just judging it all, it's like, I was pretty like bored most of the time watching all of this. And, you know, there's a few things that, again, maybe 4 titles, maybe, that I would maybe want to even check out and not even fully sold on. The only thing I'm like fully sold on is Metaphor, but we've already known of this. That Neva game I actually do want to really play. Black Myth Wukong, I definitely sold on, but I was already sold on. And then that's about it.
Yep, agree. I think those first 2 showcases that we talked about were both okay. I feel a little differently about the next one, so
yeah. So Xbox Game Showcase, what are your overall thoughts here? And again, this is the one we're the freshest on.
Right. So I thought overall that it was very good. I would have probably given it like an A if it wasn't for, at least for me, the thing that disappointed me was, so they fixed one thing that I usually have a problem with in Xbox showcases, which was not a lot of gameplay. They had a lot of gameplay this time, which I thought was awesome. The other thing, though, is a lot of these games we've been waiting for a long time, and we keep seeing a lot of them were 2025 or no data at all. So that brought it down a little bit for me, I'd say. I still think it's at least like a B plus. I think it still was really good, you know. So I'd probably land somewhere around there. B plus, A minus, something like that.
Yeah, they badly needed to come out swinging pretty hard because they've been getting thrown in the mud here a lot recently. And I think this showcase like lifted a lot of spirits here. I think this is exactly what they needed, and I think it was a super solid showing. And
Agreed.
they kind of had to have a super solid showing here. I don't know. It's just like, it's just a lot of in the midst of, are they even going to continue making consoles? And, you know, like, are they just going to become a publisher now and all this sort of stuff? And their games still just can't seem to release and hit as strong as what they would want. And they still are lacking games and all of this stuff. And then but this showing here, like, there's a lot of solid titles here. So let's get into it. The first one, huge, right out the banger, right? Doom: The Dark Ages.
Oh boy. So
this looked, I mean, is this the best in this showing? Let me look through this
maybe.
all.
There's one other one that I was really hyped for, but man, I thought this looked so good. What I was saying before was I love how Doom can take just a game where you literally just kill zombies, but they make it so fresh every time. It's always different. They're always switching it up, you know, and this is definitely different. So I love it. I think it's cool that they're doing like a prequel, you know?
Yeah. So they're doing a prequel, and you now can like, you have like a shield that you can also attack with. You have like medieval weapons, more than just like a sword and shield. They have like, they integrated you being able to. It looked for a bit there like you were throwing a spike ball at somebody, I want to say, and I was like, oh, that's sick. But yes, it's the Doom we have been loving recently. but I feel even more amped up because we still have the guns of
Right.
prior, but now you're including like medieval weapons a part of that, and it fits so perfectly with Doom's theme, weirdly enough. And I wouldn't have expected them going this route of like sword and shield integration, but it's like, well, somehow they made it work perfectly because this looks fantastic. So
Looks so good, man. I love the
yeah.
whole throwing the shield, fighting a few enemies, just
Hmm,
waiting for it to
hmm.
come back, man. It's so cool. And that gun that he was shooting with the skull inside of it, it's like this is awesome.
It looks
So
very, very very fun. I'm super
yep,
pumped. Looks fantastic. So
looks great.
there's that. Oh, it is coming later this year, and it is console PC. Now, they didn't say PlayStation, and it makes us wonder, is this coming to PlayStation or not? Because previous games are, when it comes to like, I don't know, there was that weird like, well, if there's a legacy with the system, then we'll still release it or
Yeah.
something like that.
Wait,
So
Tim,
like,
one thing though. I wish that was right, but wanted to double check, but it says launching 2025, unfortunately, for Doom.
oh, it does. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
I
okay.
got excited when you said that. I'm like, did I get it wrong? Is it coming this year?
Did they just slap a 2025 year on it then?
Yeah, they just put at the
Hold on.
very end, I want to say. Let me see. They put yeah, coming
Yeah,
2025.
it's
That's all it
definitely
says.
2025. Okay, okay, okay.
Okay.
My bad. Anyway,
It's all good.
yeah, a chainsaw shield.
Looks so cool, man.
Anyway, loved
You
it.
know.
State of Decay 3. So, what's funny is when this trailer was playing, my wife was like, why are there always so many zombie games? And I agree. But this is, I tell her, well, this is the exception where this is one of the ones where I'm actually defending. I
Right.
think I would defend State of Decay, and I think I would defend like Resident Evil, for example, right? There's not many zombie games that I would defend, but I really like the first was pretty good. I love the second one, and I wish I just played more of it, and I really should.
Sure.
But I just was like, I joined it a little late, and I was like, well, I'm sure 3 will be releasing anytime soon. Here I am years later saying the
4
same
years
thing.
ago.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But 3 is I think that, yeah, they announced it back in 2020, and that's why I was like, well, let me just wait on it, right? We still don't have a release date. I'm like, dear God. But I am hyped, and I genuinely want to jump on board with this game and have been for a while. I just had like State of Decay 2 still like, I don't know. It still feels rough, right? I'm like, if this was like a polished experience, I'd be all over this because their ideas are so fantastic and just it's really fun. I don't know. It's just like it's like not quite there, but I need it, like I think this is gonna be the one kind of feeling. And I've been feeling this for a while. Maybe it won't be, but I'm gonna defend this one and I am excited for it.
I hope so. I know people are looking forward to it very much, and it's been in the dark for so long, so that'd be awesome. You know.
It doesn't sound too complicated, but it's no one is really quite doing it to where like, okay, it's like a co-op game, but you're building up your base so at night they don't invade in on your territory, but at the same time it's a genuinely really fun, creepy, like I don't know, zombie shooter. Like
Sure.
the mechanics are all there. It doesn't like whenever you have like a survival game, usually it doesn't feel like a great shooter. This
Right.
feels like a
Right.
great shooter on top of all the survival mechanics
Okay, that's
and
good.
just like a really fun like co-op experience to have with friends. And I think it's, I don't know. I'm excited. I'll put that. Now this next is Dragon Age. I was curious where they were gonna go with this, right? Because it's now the Velguard. It's no longer, what was it? Not dragon.
No, it was. What was it?
Started with a D.
It's gonna bother me now.
Either way, I was just kind of like, it's been in the trenches for a very long time.
Oh,
And
It was Dreadwolf. That's what it
okay,
was.
Dreadwolf. And it wasn't looking too hot. And then so I was like, okay, well, I heard that they're reworking it kind of thing. And now we're seeing what that rework is. But this rework looks worse. I hate the tone. This tone I hate. It's this very like colorful. Wow, whoa, check that out. It is. This whole trailer had that, and I'm just like, no. And you're doing this to Dragon Age on top of that. And I actually really like Dragon Age. Like the original one, I like a lot. And then like it just kind of falls from there. Disappointingly so. But Origins is fantastic. 2's pretty good, you know. And I even liked the right when the PS4 and Xbox One released. What was that? Inquisition. It's a pretty good game. It is. But like it's been so long since then, and even Inquisition isn't nearly as good as I think like the height of that OG. But this, I can't do it. I don't know. I just hate the tone too much.
I actually today I watched the whole Xbox showcase, but I didn't get a chance to see the Dragon Age trailer just because I was catching up on the other ones I had missed. But man, I saw a lot of negative reception, so must be not really appealing to people.
Yeah, watch it. I think you'll agree with me. I think it's you know what I mean. It's trying to be Fortnite, but it's like, dude, this is Dragon Age. Like, stop. Please.
So corny. Just do what you're good at.
Starfield DLC trailer. Now I don't really care much about Shattered Space DLC. I mean, I don't know. It could be great. All that aside. It's what I was texting you about of it launched today, like tonight we're getting the update and where we're getting the creation kit access both on console and PC. And I'm super pumped to just like launch the game and sit there and just browse through all the cool stuff I want to add of just different people making this or that or adding this or changing this system, blah, 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 blah. And I'm telling you, the very moment these floodgates, the same with Halo Infinite, it makes these games infinitely better.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm pumped. I'm pumped to just get into this and check out all the cool stuff. So
for anyone who loved Starfield, this is the perfect way to get them back playing it again, reinstall it, and get into it again. You know, so it's awesome. This next one, man, I thought this looked amazing. It was so cool. Let's see.
I agree. I've never heard of this. I think this is like a new announcement, I want to say. But
I think so.
Yes. Really awesome showing.
Never heard of this at all. So Claire Obscure Expedition 33 trailer reveals 2025 launch. The Xbox Game Showcase gave gaming fans lots of updates on games they already know about, but it also revealed new games like Kepler and Sandfall Interactive's third-person adventure game. Claire Obscure Expedition 33. Little is known about this mystical Xbox title outside of the fact that it promises to come to Xbox Game Pass, Xbox Series X and S, and PC sometime in 2025. You can watch the first trailer, which is filled with mind-bending locations and strange enemies above. So this game to me, it looks like kind of okay. So it reminded me a little bit of what was that game that came out in January that everyone hated with the corny protagonist and she'd say stupid lines. Forspoken.
Yes.
It looks like Forspoken to me, but all the good things about Forspoken, like the visuals and the movement look all cool, right? In that first trailer, remember?
Are you talking about South of Midnight?
No, not South of Midnight. This game,
because that's what I thought when I'm watching South of Midnight. I'm like, man, this is what Forspoken should have been.
Oh, well, you know what? I could see why you would think that too, with the flying through the air and stuff like that. But it wasn't that. It was just how lifelike the graphics looked and the combat looks like so smooth and everything. Obviously, first with Forspoken, that ended up not really being the case. But with this, it looks really good. And then it reminded me of Persona, the way like the menu would pop up next to him like that. I thought that was so awesome. That was so cool.
Mm-hmm. At first, I was kind of like, whatever, kind of same old. And then as the trailer kept going, because I was halfway paying attention, through, I'm like actually sitting up and paying attention really closely. And I'm like, oh shit, actually, this looks great.
That was me too. I wasn't paying attention all the way at first.
Yeah. It sort of grabs your attention by just how great of a showing it had. I love this. Yes. But South at Midnight, why I was going with the Forspoken thing is like because, well, it's many. So Forspoken's supposed to be like this, like about a black girl from New York City, right? Put into like a different environment, but the way she acts though was supposed to be like that, like New York aesthetic. Her acting was not there. It definitely didn't feel like an authentic New Yorker. Let's say that. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell? Like, she doesn't talk like she's from New York at all.
So dumb.
So when I see this South of Midnight, it's like girl from Louisiana, but they nail it, dude. This is exactly how people from Louisiana act and talk.
Yeah, I thought that was really well done.
Very, very, very strong performance from her. So that's where I was going like, man, this is what Forspoken should have been. And then like the combat looks fantastic in the South of Midnight too. I didn't know. I thought this was going to be like an adventure game or something. I had no idea like the previous trailers, but it's from Compulsion Games. They did that black and white game that was really cool.
Oh, yes. I know it came out. Didn't that come out around the launch of the PS4? Maybe?
It did. Yeah. And it was like playing with like the shadows of things.
The shadows, yes. Yeah.
Anyway, so it's the same team. So I wasn't expecting it to be this style of game, but this is like a third-person action game, and like the combat looks phenomenal, and I don't know, everything. The aesthetic is really, really awesome looking. It has that sort of like, it's like a cell shaded take on when you're watching like the newer Spider-Man movies, you know, if they were cell shaded instead.
Yeah.
Where it's like that almost like half frame rate thing going on or something. And
Yep.
I don't know.
Yo,
I
Tim,
think this
Sorry to interrupt you. I have to go get my daughter in like 10 minutes. Not get her, but I have to do something over there for a bit and then come back. So
okay.
How many do we have left? 1, 2, because I'll just come back and finish 4, 6, 7, and then we got more playing. Okay, that shouldn't take long. All right.
Well,
let me go.
Can we finish in the next 10 minutes and just fly through the rest of this?
Because if we really move fast,
yes, let's do it because I have to leave too. So let's just really rush this.
They're on dance number 38, and I'm supposed to be there for number 44. Each dance about 3 minutes.
We'll fly. I promise.
All right, let's go.
Metal Gear Solid Delta. I texted you. This looked like, oh wow, this is kind of what I've been waiting for this whole time. Because prior showings were pretty weak. I think this was actually a great showing. This actually has me hyped again. I want to check it out.
Yeah, I agree.
Same?
Okay. I was already excited before, but now even more so. I think it looks great. So
Snake actually looks different now and looks like they're not trying to copy. They're trying to actually make it their own flavor, which is what we kind of need. Perfect Dark reboot. We finally got to see gameplay of it. The problem is the date, right? We still don't have a date, okay? But if we're just talking purely showing of how a game looks, this may be the game of the show. This looks phenomenal. I think this looks fantastic. If this actually looks like how the game's going to look when it releases and they're not pulling a fast West on them and going to downgrade it at release and all this mess, if this is what we get, this will be a fantastic game.
Right.
This looks phenomenal. Fable also looked really, really, really good. I'm super excited for this. Have been since we first known of it. Playground Games, again, they're making the Forza stuff. The fact that they can make this game is like, wow. This is that shift again of like what they did from Killzone to like Horizon kind of thing. You know, they really moved genres and did a fantastic job doing so. Life is Strange. Any thoughts on Life is Strange?
Yes, I'm excited. I love all the other ones.
It's the same girl, now older.
Yep, all grown up. No, I think that looks great. I'm excited for that.
Yep, me too. Indiana Jones, The Great Circle, I think continues to look fantastic. Really solid showing there. I'm really excited to play that. Evolve, what'd you think of the showing here?
Yeah, I like what I saw. I'm glad it's coming this year too because it looks fun. So I'm looking forward to giving that one a try. I haven't played a lot of Obsidian games, so I want to play it. Check it out.
And if there's like a top 3 for this show, I guess number 3 would be just Gears going back, doing a prequel.
I'm back. Yep.
Got
Keeping it
that little
simple.
like Mad World little, music
I
thrown
like that
in
they
there.
did that, and I like it's the boys in the beginning, so
Yep.
I think that's
Yep.
pretty cool. So
Yeah, the fact that we get to see the start of it is really cool. I think that's a great idea. And I hope Cliffy's a part of this. That'd be really neat. I don't know if
that
that's
would
the
be
case or
cool.
not, but it
I don't think he is because I saw him talking about it on Twitter, saying how he's happy they did it this way. He's like, see, you guys didn't need me or something like that. So I assume
okay.
he's not.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it. And
Listen,
if you
we
don't
could talk
have any,
about Hellblade next week. I know you talked about it already, but I want to give you my thoughts.
yeah,
But I'll give
you
it to you
just
next
beat
week.
it. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah. We got release dates of Assassin's Creed Mirage coming out June 6th. Rocket Knight Adventures Resparked. I'm actually interested in that. June 11th, so we'll be out by the time this episode's out. And then V Rising June 11th hitting PS5. That was already on PC. V Rising looks like a really great game.
Yeah,
PlayStation's
it
getting a
does.
good one there, and that will do it for this
Sweet.
episode. There's our fake E3 of 2024.
What did we say? Like fake three last time. Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
now. All right, guys. See
Till
you
next
next
week.
time.
Later.